Hello, welcome back to Kiai Gaming. My name is Alex. Today I'm going to take a look at some model cherry blossom. The cherry blossom, or sakura in Japanese, is heavily connected with Japan. Whenever you see a wargaming table or a level in a video game that has cherry blossom somewhere, for a lot of people that will give the impression that that particular table or that level or whatever it is has something to do with Japan in some way. Now, my Test of Honor table that I'm building is actually heavily inspired by Hanamura from the video game Overwatch, that has a lot of cherry blossom in it, again to give that strong Japanese flavor to it. And recently I acquired some cherry blossom products that I thought I'd show on camera today. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is this. This is cherry blossom scatter, or cherry blossom flock, whatever you want to call it. And I got this from 4D Model Shop in East London. Basically, 4D Model Shop is it's like an art supply store for model makers, terrain builders, cosplayers, anyone doing stuff like that. Architectural designers who make those models that you see when a new development's being built, and you want to see what the final development will look like. People who make those models, they cater to those people as well. It's got loads and loads of stuff like this, like scatter and trees and tools and all kinds of other stuff for making models. So I had to take a trip over there. It's a fairly short bus ride away from where I live in West London. So I took a trip over there a few days ago, and I'm glad I did. It's a brilliant shop. I highly recommend checking it out if you're ever in London, or check out their website too. So let me open this up and have a look at what this looks like outside of the bag. So it's going everywhere on the table. But yeah, this is basically fine cherry blossom flock for making trees, or you can use this on bases, which is what I plan to do. I plan to put this stuff onto a base or two on my models to further give them that kind of Japanese feel. And yeah, it's basically cherry blossom flock. So I'm really glad this stuff actually exists, in a shop. Don't have to go onto eBay to buy this. It's fairly inexpensive as well. I don't remember exactly how much it cost, but it's about £3-4 for the bag, something like that. So it's not too expensive. There's a fair amount in here as well. Yeah, as I said, I'm going to use this on my bases for my warband, and I could try to make some cherry blossom trees with it as well. Okay, also from 4D Model Shop are these trees. 4D Model Shop sells off the shelf. They sell 3 different sizes of cherry blossom trees, and they also have a bespoke service. They can make any size of tree you want or need. You get in touch with them, you get a quote, that kind of thing. But yeah, this is the biggest size of tree they have on the shelf. These are 60mm trees, and you can see they have these kind of like long, kind of spiky things, which I think are meant for for like architectural layouts, so you can stab them into the layout without having to base them or anything. If you're using these for wargaming, then you can just cut this off where it meets the bottom of the trunk. You just cut it off and then put it onto a normal wargaming base, and do your usual thing for making tree scenery. So yeah, these trees are quite nice looking. They may be a little bit small for wargaming. I'm not sure. Let's have a look and see what it looks like with a model next to it. Okay, so this is a rough kind of look at how big the tree is compared to this archer here. And yeah, I mean, this will be quite a small tree in 28mm. Actually, let's get him down to about there. This will be quite a small tree, so it's more like almost like tree scatter. When you have these like smaller trees dotted around the place, and you have that kind of the big trees in certain locations. So I think I would go a little bit larger than this for Test of Honor, maybe up to 100mm, maybe 110mm for 28mm. But I'm happy I bought these. I mean, you can still dot these around here and there in different places, maybe to accent terrain or to just dot around the place. So yeah, no problems at all with that. And yeah, these trees are they're well made. I mean, the flock isn't really coming off or anything. They're quite nice trees. The only slight misgiving I might have about these trees is that they do feel a little bit like Western trees with pink flock on them, which I suppose isn't, I mean, it isn't a terrible thing. I mean, there are all kinds of shapes and sizes of cherry blossom, so I suppose, you know, that's not too much of a downside. But I would like to see maybe, you know, I don't want to say more Japanese shapes, but like in Japan there are, you know, different shapes of trees and some pretty unique shapes of trees as well, and it would have been nice to, you know, to have that. But I suppose that's something that the bespoke service can do, or you can always make your own trees. You get the scatter and then you make your own trees. But overall, I mean, I'm perfectly okay with these trees. I'm going to put them here and there on the layout on the table to give the table a bit more of the Japanese feel. Okay, and finally we have these. These are cherry blossom trees by Woodland Scenics under their Woodland Classics name. This was a surprise find because I didn't know that, you know, Woodland Scenics did anything, you know, cherry blossom related. So, you know, this is a bit of a surprise to find this, but I'm glad I did. I bought this from Hatton's up in Liverpool, which is a really well-known model railway shop. And of course, you know, model railway trees can be used in wargaming as well. So yeah, these are, as you can see, they're packaged in plastic to protect the trees in transit when they're being sent to you or when you're taking them home. And yeah, let's open these up and take a look at what the trees are like. Okay, so this is one of the trees from the set. First impressions actually is that it's not quite as well made as the 4D model shop stuff. Even though Woodland Scenics has a, you know, a good reputation and, you know, they're kind of known for premium products. This isn't, you know, at first blush, this isn't really as well made as the 4D stuff. You can see there's some, you know, stringy bits in the foam. It's going to need a little bit of trimming and a little bit of cleanup. Although it does come with a base though. So basically, if you were going to be using this for model railroad, you wouldn't use the base. You would simply plug it straight into, you know, whatever it is you want to plug it into, you know, like a piece of foam board, wood, whatever it is you're doing. But for gaming, it comes with a base that you simply attach, and then you can have it on the table for gaming. So yeah, I mean, it is a different color to the 4D stuff. It's a different type of foam as well, and it is kind of coming off as well as I'm, you know, I'm poking it. So overall, I would say that these are okay. They're not terrible, although they do need a bit of, as I said, a bit of cleanup to, you know, to make them look good. And they do seem a little bit plasticky as well on the trunk. So, you know, you can maybe do something with that. Maybe cover it with something. You know, do some work there. That's personal preference. Some people don't mind the more plasticky looking trees. Some people want it to look really kind of realistic and, you know, super realistic, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, with a bit of cleanup, these will look okay as cherry blossom, and especially from that, you know, 3 feet away kind of thing when you're wargaming, these will look fine. But as I said, they'll need cleanup before they can be dropped onto the table. Okay, and here's that comparison once again with the Archer. I have to do it like this because the camera is pointing straight down at my table, so I can't really put these on the table. You wouldn't really get a sense of size and of scale. So that's basically what the Archer would look like. Again, it's quite a small tree for 28mm. For smaller scales, this would be, you know, quite large. But for 28mm, this is quite a small tree. So I'll probably have to go and, you know, get some larger trees to put on the table. But, you know, for that whole, you know, scattering trees around and putting trees next to certain pieces of terrain and all that kind of stuff, it's, you know, it's perfectly fine. Okay, so that was a look at some cherry blossom products from a couple of different companies, 4D Model Shop and Woodland Scenics. You can see on this end shot here actually the color differences between all of these products. The scatter is a different color to the flock on the trees and on the 4D trees, and the flock on these 4D trees is a different color to the Woodland Scenics trees. So suppose like any other type of planning that you would do when putting together a table for Test of Honor, or I suppose any other game, the planning that you would do with terrain and stuff also applies to trees as well. You know, you'd have to kind of carefully select what kind of colors you want, what shades, you know, and all that kind of stuff. The thing about cherry blossom trees is that they are quite hard to get hold of generally. I mean, you can find an oak tree, for example, pretty much anywhere. You know, if you want, you know, whatever size of oak tree for a particular table. But cherry blossom is a bit more niche, and I'd like to see more companies start making cherry blossom, so we have, you know, more of a selection. Although it is good that there are some stores, some shops that actually do sell this stuff, and some companies that make sakura trees. Okay, so if you enjoy the content on this channel, then please consider subscribing, and also be sure to like and comment, all that YouTubey kind of stuff. That's all for now. Thanks very much for watching, and until next time, see ya!